Imagine, just for a second, that feeling. You check your account, and your savings. Gone. Just vanished. Siphoned off maybe by an email you barely glanced at. Well, that's the harsh reality for victims in this major cyber fraud bust we're digging into today, the Hyderabad Cyber Crime Police. They've just arrested 3 people. And get this, they allegedly scammed people out of more than 44 lakh. I mean, that's a truly staggering amount. So our mission here in this deep dive is to use the details, the nitty-gritty from the police report, to show you exactly how these scams work, the alarming scale of it all, and maybe most importantly, what you can actually do to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, and that last point is absolutely vital. I mean, everything's digital now, isn't it? So understanding how these criminals operate, their methods, well, it's not just an interesting story. It's really the first essential step to protect your own information, your finances. This deep dive, it's not just about the news itself. It's about giving you practical things, real takeaways you can use, like right away, to be safer online.
Right. And the sheer amount involved, that 44 lakh figure, it just hits you. So the core news. Hyderabad Cyber Crime Police arrested 3 individuals, and they somehow managed to defraud people out of all that money. That figure alone tells you this wasn't just, a couple of opportunistic hits. It was systematic.
Exactly. And these arrests weren't just luck. It was an intelligence-led operation. They tracked down R. Gopi, who's 28, K. Srikanth, 26, and B. Mahesh, 27, apprehended them in different spots across Telangana. It really points to a pretty organized network that the police had to carefully unravel.
So how? How exactly did they manage it? Defraud so many people? What was their method, their modus operandi? The police report lays it out. They were using fake SIM cards, forged Aadhaar documents, which for listeners outside India, that's the unique ID card, and then using those to set up fraudulent bank accounts.
It was essentially a classic social engineering scam, but with extra layers of complexity. They tempt people with these fake investment opportunities, looked really good on the surface, or even fake job offers, usually sent through emails, messaging apps, things like that. Once they sort of gained trust, or at least made it look legit, victims were tricked. They transferred money into these mule accounts, which are basically bank accounts opened just for this purpose, using those fake documents and IDs.
It's a key part of their deception. And it does raise a big question, doesn't it? How hard is it, really, for criminals to set up all these layers? This kind of anonymity clearly takes some effort. Precisely. The effort involved in getting dozens of fake IDs, setting up all those accounts, it's less about how hard each single step is and more about creating a disposable system. They expect these identities to get flagged, so they need a constant supply ready to go. They burn through them. It actually shows a kind of chilling efficiency in their illicit supply chain. And it definitely highlights a fundamental weakness in some of our digital identity checks that these groups are systematically taking advantage of.
And that efficiency, that sort of industrial approach, was tragically working until the police moved in. During the raids, the authorities found just an astonishing amount of stuff. Here's a list that really drives home the scale we're talking about. 107 mobile SIM cards, 48 bank passbooks, 37 debit cards, plus multiple forged Aadhaar cards and, numerous phones and laptops they were using.
Yeah, finding over 100 SIMs, almost 50 passbooks. It doesn't just show you the scale, it shows the system, the almost industrial way they approach this. It's not just one-off scams, they're building entire fake identities, complete financial pipelines, and then just rotating them constantly, like a factory line. The senior investigator was quoted, actually. He said, "They used well-planned strategies to create layers of anonymity. The digital footprints were intentionally made murky." That really underscores the deliberate, systematic work they put into staying hidden.
And the sheer volume of their tools, well, that's the proof right there.
Okay, so this specific bust gives us a really valuable look inside one of these sophisticated operations. But what does it tell?
Well, if you connect the dots, Hyderabad is definitely seeing more and more of this kind of thing. Various white-collar crimes, digital impersonation, UPI frauds. Those are the real-time mobile payment scams, quite common in India, and also SIM swapping. So this case, yeah, it's just one example, but it absolutely highlights a growing, persistent trend in the digital world. And it really affects everyone. It's a global problem, honestly, and the tactics, they change so fast.
Right. Okay, so the good news here is that the police are trying to get the word out, urging people to be careful. They've given some pretty clear advice. What can you, the listener, actually do to avoid falling for similar scams?
The Hyderabad Cyber Crime Police have been quite direct with their recommendations. They're advising everyone, always verify job offers or investment messages you receive, especially if they seem too good to be true. Avoid clicking on unknown links. Just don't do it. And, crucially, report anything suspicious straight away. You can use the 1930 cyber fraud helpline or go to the website cybercrime.gov.in. Being proactive like this, verifying first, and reporting suspicious stuff, it's really essential for staying safe online these days.
It sounds like the message is basically trust but verify. But like you said, in the digital world, verification can be really tricky, right? How do you even start to verify, say, a job offer from someone you don't know without maybe clicking a bad link or giving away info?
That's the catch, exactly. The criminals rely on that difficulty, that hesitation. But simple steps help. A quick search for the company's official website, not one linked in the email. Maybe call a phone number listed on that official site. Again, not the number they gave you in the suspicious message. These are your first lines of defense. It's really about building a habit, a reflex almost, of skepticism, even when something looks amazing or super urgent, because urgency, especially in these scams, that's almost always a red flag. It's designed to make you rush, to stop you from thinking critically. And it's also clear the authorities are taking this very seriously. The accused here, they've been booked under several sections of the Indian Penal Code, the IPC, and also the IT Act. We're talking charges like cheating, forgery, identity theft, and the investigation isn't over. They're still looking for more accomplices, tracing those digital trails. It definitely shows law enforcement is committed to breaking up these networks.
Okay, so just to wrap up what we've explored today, we've sort of peeled back the layers on how these sophisticated cyber criminals operate. We've seen the sheer scale of it, just looking at the equipment they recovered. And most importantly, we've talked about those vital steps you can take right now to protect yourself from these kinds of scams, which are, let's face it, pretty prevalent.
Right. And as our lives just get more and more digital, we're all navigating this space where, convenience and being connected are huge benefits. We rely on them. But the flip side is those exact things, that convenience, that connectivity, can be exploited by people looking to cheat others. So maybe a final thought to leave you with is this. How can we, as people living online, strike that balance? The balance between enjoying the convenience of digital services and maintaining that constant need for vigilance against those who exploit trust in technology. Maybe consider how actively understanding these threats, like we've discussed today, really empowers you. It helps you navigate the digital world more safely. Not just reacting when something bad happens, but hopefully anticipating and maybe even preventing it.